Good morning and welcome to the first session of this 2021-22 batch of the first year of engineering for the subject Arduino based systems. I welcome you all for this course. Yesterday I had put few videos just as a primer or warm-up required for the subject. In order to deal with the pandemic situation, we have to meet online, not in actual face-to-face mode. As regards to the actual administration of the course delivery, since this course requires substantially larger board interaction, what I thought that instead of live lectures directly using Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, and since the class strength is also large of 3 divisions, which is around 250 or 240 so, I have decided to have pre-recorded lecture specifically for your class. I will give the YouTube link. Then students are expected to watch the lecture carefully in order to ensure whether they have watched or not. At the end of every lecture, I will circulate a feedback form in which students are expected to write something what has been discussed in the class. That will submission of that feedback form in time will mark your attendance as well. And we have lectures on Tuesday and Thursday. Regarding lab sessions, I will inform you separately. But as regards to lectures, I will try to ensure that your active participation is maintained by interactive session on Zoom or Google Meet that I will indicate separately, and I will have a longer interaction session which is convenient for all the students, maybe in the afternoon slot where few are free, few are busy, and after some time few become free. And anyway, at a time, so I will be available there for 2 hours, and students who want to interact, means in that session you are supposed to ask something and that I will answer. So, and obviously based on the immediately previous lecture you have watched or any general question related to the subject. So, that will make the interaction meaningful. If I address all 250 simultaneously, then you will not get an appropriate time and that interaction will be futile. So, I will give you link of pre-recorded lecture every time, well advanced in fact, so that some flexibility is there. You can watch at your own time. So Thursday lecture I put the link. It is expected that you should watch it immediately at the scheduled time, but because of some or other reason, if you are unable to watch, then you can watch it after some time in the lunch break or so. So by the end of the day, I will put a feedback link which you are supposed to fill, and after putting the feedback link, I will be able to understand your attendance, and then on the next day I will have interactive sessions, and in that interactive session what I will do is that I will allow you to ask the questions and address your difficulties. So that would be an effective method in the current pandemic situation, and most probably, unfortunately though, the first semester, that is for my particular subject, till the end of the semester, at least for the first year, because of the vaccination and all these things, it is presumed now to a large extent that it would be in entire online mode. That is, it will not be possible for us to meet one-to-one. But when you surely come in the next semester, that time we can also meet one-to-one and address your difficulties which remain unresolved because of the lack of face-to-face meetings. I hope that the concept is very much clear now. With this, we begin with the discussion of the subject. So, Arduino based systems. Now, you might be aware that few of the somewhat, I can say, more proactive or to some extent hyperactive students in their even in their high school stage itself might have got some exposure to the Arduino based system. So Arduino is something now which is no longer a advanced subject as such. Even a student going to high school is able to handle the Arduino. Now, as regards to computer, kids are able to handle the computer, or now with Android phone and this pandemic situation and online class system, that Android phone, which is a miniaturized computer, that the kids are able to handle. Then what is you may be surprised, what may be the purpose to keep this subject at the first year of engineering level? Is it worth? Many questions might be popping up in your mind, and I will try to address all these questions during this duration of the course. The contents are really meaningful, and we have to deal them with a deeper angle than what few might have dealt it in the high school. So from that point of view, the scheduled duration of the lecture course is 2 lectures per week theory and 2 lectures per week for laboratory. But we may require some more time, and that I will put anyway, it is in online and flexible scenario. So I will be putting, we meet on Tuesday, Thursday regularly. In addition, in a week, not from this week, so that you should not be much worried, but from next week, I will also put an additional link on Saturday, and for which we can have interactive session on Monday afternoon. So Tuesday, recorded link, feedback session in the evening, interactive session on Wednesday afternoon, Thursday morning, recorded link, feedback link in the evening, and interactive sessions on Friday morning. Additional lecture Saturday morning. Feedback link, since it is Saturday, you are in the weekend, feedback link would be there, you have to fill in till Sunday evening, and interactive sessions on Monday afternoon. So with this 3 lectures per week, you would be able to comfortably deal with the subject. Now, see, listen very carefully. I will be addressing many issues in my lecture. That you are the students in the decade 2020 plus. In 2021, you have been admitted to this college. The time in which your parents learnt maybe engineering courses or advanced graduate courses. When we had gone through the studentship, there is a what we can say, paradigm shift, fundamental significant change in teaching learning process. Even up to year 2000, or we can say pre-internet era, post-internet era, number one, and moreover, the distinct time frame is pre-smartphone era and post-smartphone era. That is, around means it is not we are unable to mark exact something below, that is before Christ and after Christ. Say you have BC year and AD. So that demarcation is not possible, but we can say pre-2000, post-2000, that is pre-2000 is pre-internet for a, what we can say, practical purpose. Post-2000 is post-internet. Pre-2015 is pre-smartphone. Post-2015 is smartphone era. Non-internet era, internet era. Non-smartphone era, smartphone era. So with smartphones readily available, that YouTube, the technology with which you are watching this lecture, YouTube, is that way old. But even though it was there, its access was not, what we can say, so wide. Therefore, there was exclusiveness for the lectures in the classroom, even though the contents were not exclusive. Again, in your class, everybody understands English, the medium of instruction in English, but sometimes, so as to have a meaningful impact, I will use some phrases in the native language, it is Marathi. Few students who are hailing from Jammu and Kashmir or northeastern areas may not be able to understand. I will use some Hindi if required, but majority will be dealing in English, but occasionally, so as to have a meaningful interaction, I will use the either Marathi or Hindi language. So, in 90s, even though the teacher teaching in the classroom was not having any exclusive things, you might be hearing today there is a TINA factor, there is no alternative. Students have to attend that class because there was no alternative. Searching in books was not so easy, getting books were not so easy. Even if you get books, searching there was not so easy. Even though Xerox technique was there, but what contents to find, where to find, how they will get circulated, all these things were difficult. So there was some exclusiveness for the lectures. But today with Google University proliferating the world, there is no dearth of information available. So when you had attended induction program, Dean Academics might have told you all the details, where the website, where the syllabus is put and all these things. So now a smart guy simply makes a Google search on the contents of the syllabus, and for each bit in the syllabus, he will get enough information on Google. And he can go through, he will be getting Google links for audio-visual material on YouTube. He will watch that. That would be much more than enough to a large extent. So, whether the actual recording, online sessions are relevant or not is a big question. There is, and especially this pandemic era has substantially put the question marks on the relevance of teaching learning process. Therefore, the challenge before the teachers has increased manifold, and I will try my level best to maintain the relevance of teaching learning process. What I will do, if I simply go on talking about something which is otherwise easily available to you, it is wastage of our time. Therefore, I will give you the links of the content which are otherwise available, and I will use this where I actually have to talk, I actually have to explain. I will explain something which is not easily available elsewhere. So I will try my level best to maintain the relevance, exclusiveness, meaningfulness of these sessions. Okay. Now, this is the first lecture, so it is just a broad overview of the entire subject. We will not be touching into actual details of the module today, but I will give you a complete overview of the developments in earlier. The electronics department used to deal with a course which is common to all first year branches, that is basic electronics engineering. But now what has happened, that the contents of basic electronics engineering, I think yesterday you might have walked. I hope that since you are still in the first year and in the, what we can say, very beginning part, and also since last 3-4 months you were that way non-engaged after CET, most of you might have watched the contents. Those who have not watched should watch these contents by this weekend of the lectures put yesterday. So most of the contents which were part of earlier basic electronics engineering course have been covered either in 12th or are part of engineering physics, maybe in the next semester for your class. So instead of repeating those contents, in the last year it was decided to substantially revamp the things and have some meaningful course contents, and that after hectic interaction we decided to have this course. This course has got 6 modules. The course has got 6 modules. The first two modules deal with the fundamentals of now analog electronics and digital electronics. The first two modules deal with analog electronics and digital electronics respectively. Now, in analog electronics, it deals with operational amplifiers. Now, operational amplifier also, those students from your class who have bifocal electronics in their 11th, 12th, that must have been covered. Now, just a deviation, whether anybody knows the meaning of the bifocal when it was introduced in 1986 under new education policy that time. Bifocal is having two intentions. After 12th, either the student should be able to pursue higher education, or by giving additional knowledge of one specialization, maybe electronics, mechanical maintenance, civil, crop science, etc., he would be able to have his own livelihood based on that. That was the bifocal. Anyway, it's just deviation. So those students might have got this operation amplifiers. Diode and transistor is not covered. It is expected that it is already covered. Or there is another school of thought that now as the things are changing, the teaching learning process, that is pedagogy, there is also a substantial shift in thinking process, how one should teach, whether diode, op-amp comprises of transistor. Transistor comprise or contain or back-to-back diode. Then first teach diode, then teach transistor, then teach operation amplifier. So sometimes we will find that the understanding top layer is simpler than understanding bottom layer. And if we go on teaching from diode, transistor and op-amp, diode is very difficult to understand. Transistor, if we go on explaining by using diode equation how it is, it's just impossible to understand. Fermi level and all those things. Then transistor is somewhat simpler, but can't be understood. And since diode and transistor can't be understood, op-amp will not be understood. But if we say that there is no need for me to understand diode and transistor, I can teach op-amp at an abstract level. At an abstract level, in that case, op-amp would be somewhat easier to explain and understand. Means, so how you learned coordinate geometry? You learned coordinate geometry. Your teacher in maybe high school or college said, yeah, this is point P. This is point P. Now, is it correct? It's absolutely wrong, because point does not have dimensions. Point does not have dimensions. As point does not have dimensions, how it is to be shown? Point can't be seen. If he would have started explaining the coordinate geometry in such fashion, you must not have understood. Nobody could have understood coordinate geometry. But he presumed something which is not correct. And then at this stage now you will understand that this is not a point, it is a solid circle, and its center of the solid circle is a point which I can't see. I can see the solid circle, but its center is the point which I can't see, but I can perceive. Point is a thing which is to be perceived but can't be seen, just like the Almighty God. So, whether there should be idols for the God, murti, or not, means what? See, I am not deviating from the subject, but what I want to tell is that if we insist on understanding everything at the beginning stage, then there is a high risk for an intellect to get into infinite loop. Therefore, we must be able to break the loop, and from that point of view, some presumptions which are diametrically wrong, completely wrong, are required to be made, and then further things can be taught. So from that point of view, a detailed analysis of operational amplifiers is there in this subject. What is Arduino and what is all that thing that I will cover, these are the next modules. Then The next is digital electronics. In digital electronics, fundamentals is number system now, then De Morgan's theorems and all that is covered now. Gates, logic of some kind of means that basics of digital electronics is already covered. So some few combinational circuits and sequential circuits. This is something which is very much important. This is there in the digital electronics. Digital electronics. Then these are two modules, and remaining modules are of Arduino. Remaining modules are of Arduino. So what is Arduino? Arduino is something like what we can say a name given to a particular version. Arduino basically is a microprocessor. So now I am not going into any details as such, but I am explaining you the broader overview of the subject. Broad overview, because computer is something which now you can't live without it. Computer has embedded in every, what we can say, miniaturized, atomized device. Your smartphone contains a microprocessor, or in a way computer itself. There is every intelligent device is in a way computer. So that is the remaining four modules deal with Arduino. Now, what is an Arduino? Means an Arduino is a microprocessor or microprocessor. Regard what is the significance of microprocessor that I will tell. It is said that what are the, what we can say, revolutionary inventions. Number one is invention of wheel is highly revolutionary. It means a paradigm shift. Just like smartphone today, invention of wheel. Then current electricity. In fact, steam engine is also there, but current electricity overpowered that. And then third is microprocessor. It is in 1960s. So that changed the entire working of technological things. So semiconductor technology means prior to this semiconductor technology, you may ask your grandparents about the radio which they used to have, and in that there were vacuum tubes, vacuum diode, vacuum triode, vacuum tetrode, pentode, heptode. Advanced high quality radio sets were having higher version balls, whereas transistor in 1948, then your parents, they were having transistor. So in India, the radio set which used valves was called as radio, and when in around 1970, since early 70s, compact version of radio set which used transistors instead of walls was made available, and its name was given transistor. Transistor is actually name of that device inside the radio set, but somehow it is a radio receiver which uses transistors instead of walls, was practically named as transistor. So that, and then integrating transistors in a single chip, operational amplifiers on analog side, and using transistor as a switch, digital things on the other side. So that led to microprocessor technology in 1960s. I will give you a task. Everybody of you should Google search on von Neumann, the great man. Now today you telling something when the entire Google University is available with you is very simple. But von Neumann, when transistor even was not there, there were computers which were of the size of the room earlier. There were some slide rules, totalizers. You may ask your parents, especially or grandparents who were serving in financial institutions like bank. The totalizers were there, slide rules were there. So that technology was there, but semiconductor was not there. The microprocessor was obviously not available, but that time von Neumann in 1946 had predicted about the architecture of a computer. I will not explain in detail. You are supposed to go through von Neumann, read it, and I will give you an assignment for the laboratory. We are having a lab also. For that I will give you an assignment which you should complete. So von Neumann architecture, he has predicted how microprocessor will be, and everything is based on that architecture, and then further its variations, some modifications, some deviations, etc. So the remaining 4 modules contain the detailed analysis of the microprocessor. The microprocessor was requiring additional devices like external memory and accessible memory called as I/O ports. Then, as semiconductor technology advanced, you may be knowing Moore's law, all these things came inside, and that was called a microcontroller. Now, and this Arduino is nothing but a microcontroller, but now even you can design your own microcontroller. That the dependence on already available chips is not there. You get a raw chip. Now you might be aware, you might have heard somewhere that the new semiconductor policy, where what we can say productivity linked incentive has been provided of 76,000 crore rupees. So that will further expand the semiconductor industry in India. So that is a big boost. So you even can design your own chip. There is huge potential for you to go deeper in this subject, have a detailed analysis. As I already stated, that I will not repeat the things which are otherwise available. I will I will means generally available simple things. I will give you the related links you are supposed to go through, and in the actual lecture, we will deal with some themes for which explanation is necessary. Means I will try to explain in such manner so as to prove the exclusiveness. That is, you read something, you watch something, and then I explain. Then you should feel that before the lecture what was your state, and after the lecture, after watching my lecture, what is the state and what is the value addition, whether the lecture was meaningful, whether there was some value addition within you after watching the lecture. That I will try to ensure that each single lecture of around 1 hour adds some meaningful value in your career. So that I will try to make sure, because the challenge is manifold. I hope it should be quite clear. As regards to examination, there will be a theory paper. Most probably it will be online, containing some MCQs, some small descriptions. For laboratory, now for laboratory of this subject, those of you who are having laptop can think of purchasing an Arduino kit. It is available at not so large price, maybe around 600 to 800 or 1000 or so. That what exactly you can purchase, I will give information. We will perform experiments here. We will actually, for laboratory, there are some actual recordings available on internet. I will give those links. We will be conducting actual experiments here. Those links also we will provide. Additionally, those who, it is optional, not binding on everybody. Those who are having laptops, for them it will, and now that you can purchase online, it comes directly delivered to your home, and we will give some exercise that which they can continue, and they would be able to verify their own results. Means they would be able to use Arduino. So that laboratory part would be covered. Now, what is Arduino? Computer now everybody knows, even child knows computer. Many things can be done on computer. Only if you take only computer, say mobile phone, which is now a computer, or tab, which is also a computer, or a laptop is directly a computer. On all those things, you can do many things. You have keyboard through which you can supply input, and how you can watch the output, either on screen or using audios. So now there is speech to text, so computer or a mobile can listen you. Means if you take, what is Arduino? Arduino is an additional attachment to computer which gives you some exclusive things. Whereas if you don't have Arduino, what you can do using computer, either using keyboard or audio, you can give some input to computer. You can ask a computer to do something, that computer does, and how computer tells you that it has done something means input is either audio or through keyboard, and output is again something on screen or something which you can listen. So audio visual output and audio and keyboard input, these are the limitations. Can your mobile, I am asking mobile, put something on off? No. For that purpose you have to have some kind of interface, that is IoT technology. Using now mobile can act as a remote, all those things are there. So what is an Arduino? Arduino gets attached to a computer, and after getting attached to computer, it can accept input using a switch, using some sensor, temperature sensing like something. Now there is temperature sensing even in smartphone also. So to some extent, some parts are already included there, and it can control the outputs using output pins, which it can make 1 or 0. So in today's lecture I am just explaining at a broader level. So, and what is an if? In a single sentence or in very brief, if it is to be explained what is an Arduino, then the simple answer is Arduino is an I/O interface to the computer. Arduino is an I/O interface to the computer, and that I/O interface, for the to be very further precise, Arduino is an I/O interface with the external world for the computer, for using computer for automation of practical things. Fan control, maybe one of them, motor control, maybe other, and so on. So it is, to be very precise, it is a hardware interface, or or to be very further elaborative, Arduino acts as an I/O hardware interface for the external world on one side and computer on the other side. And to be very precise, it is self-sufficient. So once using computer program at Arduino, for actual working, computer is not required. So that all these things would be covered in due course of time. I think for the today's lecture it is more than sufficient. It was just overview. I will put the feedback link of this lecture later on, which you are supposed to fill by today evening, and tomorrow we will be having interactive sessions on Zoom, and I am expecting not all students to join simultaneously, because that interactive session is not my monologue. That interactive section is dialogue. It's not necessary that everybody of you should speak, but few proactive students will speak. I will answer their queries. I will raise their queries, some few queries to them. They will answer, and others can listen that interactive discussion. So interactive session with all 250 is what we can say non-meaningful. We will have small interactive sessions for all the instructions. For further things I will put on the WhatsApp group. I think today we shall stop here, and I will circulate the feedback link and the interactive lecture links on the WhatsApp group later. Thank you.